guys, it's Alisha. So to kick off this drugstore foundation routine, I'm starting off by using my favorite primer, which is the Milani Prime Shield Primer. And this primer focuses on minimizing pores as well as mattifying, so it is the perfect drugstore primer. Next, I'm taking my favorite foundation out of all my foundations. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation in the color Cream Cafe. And of course, I'm just dabbing that onto my skin and then I will blend that all out using a beauty blender. I will say that you may need to use 2 coats for a full coverage, but the finish of this foundation, you guys, is amazing. It's so smooth and very glowy, and it's just awesome. It is time for concealer. So right now I'm taking the LA Pro Concealer in the color Warm Honey, and of course applying that under my eyes, chin, cupid's bow, nose, and forehead area, and then blending that all out using a Real Techniques blending brush or blending sponge. My contour, I'm using the LA Pro Concealer in the color Beautiful Bronze, and of course applying that to my cheekbones and then a little bit on my forehead area, and that'll kind of help add some dimension to the face since I kind of lost that with all that foundation and concealer. And as you guys can see, I am blending that all out using a Real Techniques blending sponge. The reason I love using this concealer for my contour is because it blends out so well. So once you blend it all out using a beauty blender, it just doesn't leave any streaks or any harsh lines, which I love because I hate when the contour looks too overbearing. To make my contour pop a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and take that highlight concealer that I used, which was the LA Pro Concealer in the color Warm Honey, and just apply a little bit of it underneath the contour on my cheekbones. And that'll help the contour look a little bit more dramatic, which is what we all want. To set my highlight, I'll be using the Maybelline Translucent Powder in the color Medium. And what I do is I apply 2 layers. So I set a very light layer first and then dust that layer off because I realized that this powder can really kind of attach to dry patches. So I think by doing this first and dusting that layer off and then applying more of a baking layer, that really helps the powder not to set to the dry patches, and it comes out much more flawless that way. So as you guys can see, I applied the first layer with a fluffy tapered brush, and then I applied the second layer using a makeup sponge. Now let that second layer bake for about 2 to 3 minutes so that it has time to set, but it doesn't attach to any of my dry areas and it doesn't look too cakey. To set the rest of my face, I'm using the Infallible Pro Matte Press Powder in the color Classic Tan. I'm just applying that all over the rest of my face, so of course over my contoured areas and things like that. My bronzer, I'm using the Black Radiance Press Powder in the shade Golden Almond, and it's applying that using a black fluffy brush. Now applying that to the apples, or not the apples, my cheeks, the cheekbone area, my forehead area, and my chin area, and that'll add some extra dimension because I don't want my face to look too flat. I do want the full face beat, so I do want to add all the dimension as possible, and of course have my cheekbones popping. To deepen up my contour, I'm using the CoverGirl Queen Bronzer in the color Ebony, and I just apply this directly underneath my cheekbone area because it adds a little bit more depth. Because this shade is a little bit darker, I don't want to go too overboard using this particular bronzer, so I do only add a little bit of the bronzer to my forehead and chin area because I don't want for it to be too strong. And I also do contour my nose just a smidget using the Black Radiance Pressed Powder in the color Golden Almond that I used earlier. My highlight, I'm using the Milani Baked Bronzer in the color Glow, and it's applying that to the high points of my cheeks, as well as my forehead, nose, cupid's bow, and chin area. And I was pleasantly surprised because this highlight, you guys, is popping. Like, I didn't expect for it to be that bold, but it is amazing. It just, oh, you guys. And the texture of it is it's not shimmery, it's not too cakey. It's like the perfect highlight. Like, I love it. I'll be using this a lot more often. And for the blush, I'm using my favorite, which is the NYX blush in the shade Mocha, and it's applying it to the apples of my cheeks using a fluffy blush brush. I know the lips aren't a part of a drugstore foundation routine, but of course I wanted to record it for you guys anyways. So first I'm applying the Jordana lip liner in the color Coco Loco. It's a really pretty soft brown lip liner, so I'm applying that first. Next, I'm taking the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream in the shade Gorgeous and applying that to the lips as well. And it's such a pretty pink color. I've fallen in love with this. Probably gonna be one of my go-tos for the next few months. After we have finished your lips, the look is complete, you guys. Hope you all enjoyed today's affordable drugstore foundation routine. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't already. As always, have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.